I'm thinking about the person of my God and the notion of everything as it is. And I want you to consider something, and that is that without you, there is no everything as it is. And that gives me insight into your significance, my significance, the significance of each and every one of us, that there is a purpose and that we're not here by mistake. Because everything as it is, to make that statement, everything as it is, may sound vague in some way, but it's not. It's very specific. Everything as it is, when taken literally, includes you. It must include you. Because without you, or me, or any one of us, it is no longer everything as it is. It's everything as it isn't. And each and every one of us is made with different characteristics. We're born certain ways, physical characteristics we have no control over, and even some of our personality traits very well may be out of our control, for lack of a better term, because of our upbringing, and sometimes we can't even seem to explain it. We just have this personality trait. And I understand modern day science and all that will say it's chemical makeup, evolution, things like that. But I believe a lot of it's hard to explain. It really is. The one thing, though, you have total sovereignty over is how you will view your Creator. Will you embrace Him? Will you reject Him? Will you accept His love? Find out what love is? Will you hate Him? Will you say He doesn't exist? Will you devote your life to saying He doesn't exist? Will you live your life as though He doesn't exist? The point is, whatever you do, you are still part of everything as it is. So that, if you can consider this, that shows how significant you are. And I'm not saying this so that you can have a sense of self-importance in and of yourself, but have a sense of self-importance as to the fact that you have a Creator and you are supremely important to Him. Not just because you exist as part of everything as it is, but because you have that choice. You have that choice to have an attitude towards Him of basically the three I described, or variations of it. Because who embraces Him perfectly? Who rejects Him 100%? Who denies God 100%? No one does these things perfectly, but within the context of who you are, as you were born, given all these personality traits, you have the ability to do any one of those three things. To turn towards Him, to turn away from Him, or to deny He even exists. Either way, you are still part of everything as it is. So that means you belong here. Because if you weren't here, then everything wouldn't be everything as it is. It would be everything as it is not. It would be something else without you. Now, it may sound abstract, but I ask you to think about it, maybe even pray on it, but realize that there is no accident in God's creation. I'm not saying He micromanages everything. I don't believe He does. I'm saying He said He knows the beginning from the end. The beginning from the end. That can mean a lot of things. It might mean He knew I was going to choose Him. And you say, well, geez, Mark, you didn't even choose Him until your mid-40s. What if you would have died in your mid-20s? You see what I'm saying? what that can start to make you see, or at least the possibilities of. Obviously, I'm talking to people more that believe there is a God, but even if you don't believe there's a God, a creator of any kind, if you have an open mind, you can consider these things, because we don't know everything, but we do know that this isn't here by itself. Anyone who's honest has to acknowledge this is not here by itself. And if you can consider further, or as I said, I'm talking mostly to people who believe in there being a creator, you might see what I'm seeing, which is that it's totally reasonable to understand and embrace that concept that without you, there is no everything as it is. You are part of what makes everything as it is. And I know there's more people coming along all the time, and that to me is just further proof of their purpose, of their meaning, of the reality that they are not mistakes or just things that kind of happen, people that just happen because this person chose that and this and that and the other. There is a purpose. I'm not saying I understand it fully. I'm just saying from the general concept of you are a part of everything as it is. And you do have many different personality traits and components to you that make up who you are. Some that you decide and some that you don't. And the most important one of all your attributes is your decision, which you have total sovereignty and power over, your decision to decide on how you view your God and how you are going to live your life in relation to Him, whether it be in rejection of, embrace and or seeking of, or denial of. That's totally up to you, which is an amazing thing. Obviously, I'm talking in the context of given that there is a creator. I know my creator. He has shown his heart to me. It's not something I can prove to anyone, and that is the way it's designed. He doesn't want me to be able to prove it to anyone. Everyone has to find that on their own. And only an individual can find that on their own. No one else can show them who God is besides their God and their God alone, one-on-one with that person when they decide to turn towards Him. So He gives you this ultimate power, not for it to be so, whether or not He exists or that He is good, but for you to decide to see it that way. And then you change. That is the only way you change the nature of everything as it is. Because without you existing, there wouldn't be everything as it is. And now, once you embrace Him and you see Him and you receive the love, the great, tremendous love that He has for you, just by the simple fact that He did decide to make you a part of everything as it is. Everything as it is becomes a little more beautiful because there's one more creation, one more new creation of God. A person that once was lost, that once was dead, is made alive by your choice, your sovereign choice that He allows you to have. And everything as it is has one more eternal soul living with their God forever from that point on. And that is a statement of how precious you are to your Creator. It may not make sense to you. Like I say, I just ask you to consider it, because that shows me, or gives me some insight, that little mental exercise gives me insight into the great love He has and the purpose He has, the genuine purpose. He has very specific purpose, and you are included in that, in the sense that you still get to have an effect on it. He has a desire. His intent is for you to be with Him forever, and you can choose to embrace that reality and in fact be with Him forever, or reject it, and you change everything as it is, you are supreme significance to the Creator, and He does not take that lightly. I can assure you that He does not take that lightly. It's very important to Him what you decide, and He lets you make that decision, and that's amazing. We have an amazing God. In Jesus' name.